Jessica Taylor, the nanny's daughter, exploiting my mother's love, masqueraded as me at school. She paraded in my designer outfits, cruised in my luxury car, and revelled in the envy she elicited. Yet, her appetite for more was insatiable. Behind the scenes, she tirelessly undermined me, labelling me a failure, an idiot, a stain on our family's reputation. In my previous life, I succumbed to her venom, leading a life filled with despair until I ended it. After my demise, my father's hair turned snow white overnight, and my mother's tears blinded her. During their mourning, Jessica Taylor manipulated my parents into offloading the family company shares to her confidant at a steal. Subsequently, my father was ejected from the board, stripped of control over the empire he built. She took it over and callously threw my parents out, leaving them to die in the freezing cold. When I awoke, I was back before my college graduation. Jessica had just guaranteed her friends' positions at Taylor's Enterprises without interviews. I smirked and persuaded my father to revoke her position at the company. Jessica, you're incredible, truly outstanding. Miss Taylor, you're my hero. I'm devoted to you for life. We're so lucky to share a class with Sarah. Others can only dream of such luck. Jessica's stunning and affluent, a born princess. How I wish I could be like her. As flatterers crowded around her, showering her with compliments, I sat at the back, detached and expressionless. Sarah always looks so sour. Why can't she just enjoy the moment as everyone else does? Does she think the world owes her something? Man, she's a total buzzkill, always brooding and ominous. You don't know. Sarah's definitely got issues up there. Come on, she's just envious because Jessica's got it all. She's beyond shameless, shadowing Jessica all the time, begging like a puppy. She even tried to sneak a ride in Jessica's fancy car once. While they whispered, Ethan Anderson approached, a handsome guy who once captured my heart and worshipped the ground Jessica walked on. He is mixed race with a charming appearance and has many admirers at school. However, he was completely captivated by Jessica Taylor, falling at her feet and becoming utterly devoted to her. Ethan dropped a lunchbox in front of me and said sternly, "Sarah, why are you touching Jessica's lunch? That's from her nanny. Can't you afford your own?" Beneath my heavy bangs, I met his gaze indifferently. I didn't eat her lunch. You dare lie. The Taylors ensure Jessica's well-fed with meals prepared by a personal chef. You think you and Nanny's daughter deserve the same. You've always been green with envy. Jessica lets you wear her old clothes, ride in her car. How can you be such a leech? What a bunch of morons, I scoffed internally. Yes, I ate those lunches, but they were brought for me by the nanny. Jessica, ever so vain, convinced everyone at school she was the legitimate Taylor. My parents treated her generously, yet she relentlessly pursued my total erasure. I was already battling depression when Jessica Taylor started parading around as the legitimate daughter of the Taylor family, isolating me at school. She constantly provoked me, playing cruel games with Ethan Anderson, and eventually drove me to a suicide attempt, utterly shattering our family. Her ruthlessness propelled her to the top. Unable to tolerate it anymore, Ethan hurled his lunchbox at me, his voice harsh with warning. "Sarah, if I catch you hovering around Jessica again, don't push me to slap you. I don't hit women, but for a shameless one, I might make an exception." As Ethan lost his temper, everyone stopped to watch. After enjoying the spectacle, Jessica approached timidly, pulling on Ethan's hand, knowing exactly how to torment me. Knowing well my past affection for Ethan, she still flaunted their closeness. "Just let it go, Ethan. Don't be harsh on her. Sarah is just pitiful." One of the acne-faced boys in Jessica's entourage scoffed. "Jessica, you're too soft-hearted, letting Sarah the curse cling to you like this." Jessica eyed me with a look of superiority. "Enough," she intervened. "Sarah just likes to stay quiet and mimic me." Seriously, some people have nothing yet try to imitate others. Do they think by copying they can suddenly become like Jessica? That's just laughable. Every time I was ridiculed, Jessica would feign defense, but her words only deepened everyone's disdain for me. Despite wearing the same clothes and eating the same food as her, everyone believed Jessica pitied me. She played the magnanimous heiress, and I, the contemptible hanger-on. Her interventions didn't just fuel the disdain directed at me, they polished her saintly aura even more. I was foolish for not seeing through the manipulations hidden behind her smile. Jessica knew how to pull strings and let others do the dirty work. Ethan glanced at me with revulsion. Even in Jessica's designer clothes, you'll never be a princess. The crowd looked on with disdain and mockery. I can't believe I've been classmates with such a person for 4 years. It's embarrassing. Thankfully, I'm graduating soon and won't have to see her unfortunate face anymore. It's so revolting. I feel like I need 3 showers when I get home just to wash off the bad luck she brings. Jessica, don't be too kind. Don't let her anywhere near Taylor's Enterprises. She should be hauling bricks or picking up trash instead. As I faced their ruthless jeers, I walked away. Reaching the door, I heard Jessica's sweet tone. If everyone feels that way, then let's not involve Sarah in Taylor's. She really isn't cut out for it. Finally, Jessica, you see the light. Miss Taylor speaks the truth. Even if Sarah works her entire life, she'll never fit in with a prestigious group like Taylor's. Let Sarah look up to us forever. Jessica is actually the daughter of our nanny, Mary, who had an affair and bore Jessica, father unknown. She was a desperate woman once roamed the streets with the Jessica, destitute, until my mother compassionately offered some money. Mary then followed my mother weeping profusely at our doorstep, begging for any help she could get. Back when my mother had just had me, she noticed Jessica crying from hunger in her cradle. Moved by her plight, she brought both Jessica and Mary into our family. Mary took on the role of our nanny. Jessica grew up alongside me, sharing in everything I had. Initially, Mary was thankful, and Jessica served as my playmate, almost like a little maid. But Jessica soon started questioning why she had to serve anyone at all. Her ambitions to take my place began to surface. When I fell into depression, Jessica whispered to my ears that I was a burden and an embarrassment to our family. She even convinced me they didn't truly care for me. Over time, I felt increasingly alienated from my parents, while Jessica continued to charm them and manipulate her way into gaining more from them. One noon, as was customary, Mary drove the least flashy of our Ferraris to school to deliver our lunch. Her arrival always drew envious looks from students. Since college began, Mary had been bringing delicious home-cooked meals daily. Being in the same class, Jessica usually picked up the lunch. This allowed her to share the meal with me. But today marked a change. I was done being naive. I walked down to Mary, reaching out for my lunch. This unusual scene caught everyone off guard. What the heck, has she lost it? She's actually trying to grab Miss Taylor's special meal. Sarah, what brings you down here today? Without showing any emotion, I said, "Cut back on the cooking, Mary. I can't eat all that." Surprised, Mary managed a weak smile. "Miss Sarah, there's also a portion for Jessica in here." Jessica, sensing something was off as she saw me walking downstairs and taking the lunch, rushed downstairs, arriving just in time to hear my comment. Her face clouded with anger, then shifted to caution. "Sarah, you don't like the home-cooked meals, do you? It's not that I don't like them, it's that they're tailored to your tastes, not mine," I responded icily. Caught off guard, Mary quickly said, "Miss Sarah, I thought you both liked the same things. This one's for Jessica then. I'll bring something different for you later." Jessica managed a forced smile at that. I met Mary's gaze firmly. "Didn't I make myself clear? Stop bringing lunch to Jessica from now on." Mary looked troubled but responded, "Miss Sarah, Jessica's grown up eating at home. How will she adjust to cafeteria food?" My tone grew colder. She isn't a true Taylor. Why should she dine on the Taylor family's dime? Jessica's eyes brimmed with tears as she stammered, "Sarah, why are you doing this? You've never treated me this way before. Trying to pacify me, she pleaded, "I'm sorry if I upset you." Mary, holding Jessica close, interjected, "Miss Sarah, Jessica's been practically family since she was a child. Please don't be too hard on her. She's always been thoughtful. Why push her away now?" It was clear that my family's kindness had made Mary and her daughter far too comfortable. They had exploited our goodwill, and were now playing me for a fool. "Sarah, please, I'm begging you not to be mad. I just want to make things right. If an apology will help, then I'm sorry."